Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year as part of discipling. We are currently in the book of Judges, and we're in chapter 14, where we're going to see the marriage of Samson, a judge in Israel, a Nazarite, one who was consecrated from the womb. And in chapter 13, of course, we saw the annunciation of his birth by the angel of the Lord himself. Chapter 14. Samson went down to Timnah and saw there one of the Philistine women. On his return, he told his father and mother, a Philistine woman. So remember, at this time, the Philistines were the ones oppressing the Israelites. Okay? Samson went down to Timnah and saw there one of the Philistine women. On his return, he told his father and mother, "There is a Philistine woman I saw in Timnah, who I wish to get as a wife for me." He saw a fine girl. His father and mother said to him, "Can you find no wife amongst your own kinsfolk or among all your people, that you must go and take a wife from the uncircumcised Philistine?" Remember also the Israelites, one of the laws of God, and commands, do not take wives from the foreign tribes, from the foreign nations. Do not be unequally yoked, right? But Samson answered his father, "Get her for me, for she pleases me. Man, she's a fine girl, Dad. Please get her for me." Now his father and mother did not know that this had been brought about by the Lord, who was providing an opportunity against the Philistines, for at that time they had dominion over Israel. So Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother. When they had come to the vineyards of Timnah, a young lion came roaring at him. Pay attention to this part. When they had come to the vineyards of Timnah, a young lion came roaring to meet him. To meet who? To meet Samson. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson, and although he had no weapons, he tore the lion in pieces as one tears a kid. Like, especially for if you come from Africa, or you come from the eastern tribes of the world, Asia and Middle East, then you know how when we are, okay, let me speak for Africans and Kenyans specifically, the rest of the world, I don't know how you do it in your place, but how a kid is as it's small, it's the baby of a goat. So after slicing it, tearing it apart is not hard. The skin is basically just even pulled out like this. It's just easily pulled out. Its parts are just picked by hand. It's the skin, the meat is not yet hard. It's actually very tender. So chopping it up is very easy. You can actually do it with your hands. So basically, that's what the Bible is telling us here. He tore the lion in pieces as one tears a kid. So by this I can tell also the eastern tribes of the Israelites, Middle East, and all those areas do it the same way. Okay, verse 7. However, on the journey to speak to the woman, he did not mention to his father or mother what he had done. Now, this is for those people who don't believe life is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything. Let nobody ever fool you. Life is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. So, picture this. Samson is walking with his parents, Manoah and his wife. They're going down to Timnah. They're from home. They're going down to Timnah. They're walking along the road, telling stories, having a good laugh, chilling with my parents. And a lion comes at him, but his parents do not see the lion, for Samson does not tell them. How is it that I am walking with my parents? Picture me this. Picture, I'm walking with my parents down the street. A dog comes chasing at me. I devour the dog. But I don't tell my parents, yet they're with me. So this was a spiritual attack at Samson on his way to go do that which, and we got the revelation, the verses above. Now his father and mother did not know that this had been brought about by the Lord, who was providing an opportunity against the Philistine. So the spiritual realm has already seen that Samson is walking towards a certain territory. We need to stand guard. We need to fight back. And so a roaring lion, who is a roaring lion? Whom we're told walks around looking for whom he may devour. And Samson kills this lion, tearing it apart, yet the parents he's walking with do not see it. Not everyone will see the battles you fight, not even your family, who are so close to you, will not see the lions that you meet along the way. But the Lord, only the Lord God Almighty, will give you the strength to fight those lions. Okay? However, on the journey to speak to the woman, he did not mention to his father or mother what he had just done. Later, when he returned to marry the woman who pleased him, he stepped aside to look at the remains of the lion and found a swarm of bees and honey in the lion's carcasses. So he scooped the honey out into his palms and ate it as he went along. When he came to his father and mother, he gave them some to eat without telling them that he had scooped the honey from the lion's carcasses. Then remember now, this is where Samson is starting to mess up. He was already a Nazarite. So you remember, if you go back to Deuteronomy and the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, yeah, and you shall not eat anything from a carcass. And even more so if you're a Nazarite, because Nazarite was a willing offering. Anyone who takes a vow to consecrate themselves to the Lord. So Samson was a Nazarite with that understanding. So over and above being set and consecrated apart, there are clear instructions by the angel of the Lord. You will not eat anything unclean. And right now he's eating honey that has come into contact with a lion's carcass. Then on top of that, he brings his parents into the mix by sharing with them that honey that he's picked from the carcass. So also defiling and making his parents unclean. His father also went down to the woman, and Samson gave a banquet there, since it was customary for the young men to do this. When they met him, they brought 30 men to be his companions. 30 men to be his companions. So because she was from a different tribe, and the Philistine tribe, basically. So companions are people who sort of modern day groomsmen, but because you don't understand people of